Warning, incoming episode. Warning, incoming episode. Warning, incoming episode.
All the nerds.
So guys, yesterday was Retro Expo 2015. You guys have any opinion on that great event that has been, what, 2 times in a row right now?
Yeah, this is essentially the summer edition.
Yeah.
And it was, what?
Better than the mini Comic Con we talked
All
about.
that festival crap? Oh my god, that was horrible.
Well, you guys had... I didn't go to the one last time. Was it in 24... Were they both in 2015? Or
Yes.
Yeah,
they were
it
both
was
in
like a
2015?
month ago.
Not the other Retro Expo.
Oh, okay, no, I never...
You went to it, didn't you?
You
Yeah,
did.
it was right after my birthday. It was the
Okay.
8th.
Okay, so...
And the next day.
Yeah.
So that's why it was a summer edition, and whatever, the first one was like whatever. And
It was its first appearance
yeah.
since
My
Really?
opinion,
It was like the first
Yeah.
Retro Expo ever?
Yeah.
Ah, I didn't know that.
my opinion was that I believe that the first mini Comic Con ish type thing,
that festival.
festival, thank
It
you,
was a comic into a festival.
was too diluted. It was first too big for what it was, and diluted in like merchant that were selling way too expensive. This one were actually, I think, underground merchant more, and they're are they all retailers? I mean, you're
I
big
know
in the
some of them
community,
are
right?
retailers, but
Yeah.
a lot of them are just avid toy collectors. Like the first guy that I picked up my thing from, and you
Yeah.
picked up your sewer lair from,
Yeah,
he is an avid toy collector. He has a huge
she's
collection.
in Plastic Junkie.
Plastic Junkie, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like totally blown away with the prices that he was selling stuff at.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I was incredibly pleased with is their prices.
Yeah.
Everything was
They
so
are
fair.
right.
Yeah.
They are just right. It's not too much. It's not
Yeah.
too low.
Are you talking about Plastic Junkie in particular, or everyone at the
Everybody
Mostly everyone.
Yeah.
a lot of
everything.
because I was going to say a lot of people were, and then you got the some that, of course,
Well,
were.
especially
Yeah,
when you
for
went into
sure.
the last room with the games.
Yeah, well, I was going to get to that, but going to a John.
What I'm thinking is that, is it a good price for you, or is it a good price in general? I mean, do you think it's a viable price for a toy retailer?
I know enough to know that there are good prices.
Yeah.
Not overpriced, just as we just said.
Yeah, like the Optimus Titanium diecast part.
That
$10.
was so
Diecast
cool.
action figure for $10.
Okay,
that
it doesn't transform with a damn. Okay,
Well,
it's a
obviously,
piece of
it's
shit.
kind of- but it's a piece of metal.
It's a
what's cool.
diecast, and
It's diecast.
$10. You
Yeah.
can't go wrong. It wasn't sealed; it was actually opened prior, but everything was still attached inside, so no one took it out of the box. They just cut the packaging.
Well, your haul was pretty crazy too. It's that.
Yeah, I've been looking for a while for that sewer lair. I was expecting maybe a more complete set, but I don't know why. You just threw in shit. Like there was
Yeah, he was just like, "What?" He was just like, "Just take it."
Was it 10 action figures in a lair? Here you go. I'm like, yeah, but it's it. Okay, I'll give you to you for 30. I'm like, all right.
I can do this.
Well, it's a great starter.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the pieces that are missing are common pieces that you can find online.
It's
So
just like you were that close to buy that Technodrome,
don't
right?
even go there.
Which,
Don't even go there.
Which you
Don't
skipped
even
it,
go there.
and then someone else bought it for $30, which was $15 less. Or
It
something.
wasn't a Technodrome. It was a Technodrome, a van, 20
The
figures.
The 2000 was it the TMNT movie, the CG
Yeah.
one, the turtle van from that, whole bunch of figures, the catapult that they released, stuff I don't have. Well, I have the Technodrome and shit like that, but
The
still,
point is, a huge quantity of toys for only
$30.
yeah.
peanuts.
But you know
well,
why?
30, but like originally it was 45.
You know what's
45.
weird is that I didn't pick it up because it's way too much. not in price, in quantity. I was like, I don't
You don't know what to do with it. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Imagine, getting that and connecting it to that, and there's a nice centerpiece
It would have
all
been cool.
together in one.
Yeah, so I still have no space. I don't know what to do. I need
Was
to
it missing pieces?
expand before I can move on to
Barely any.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Even had the eyeball, and that's like one of the most common pieces that are missing. Anyways.
No, but they did have a second room, which we didn't notice until we were about to leave.
Yeah, we were standing there
And
talking for
we're-
like 15, 20 minutes, like,
We're
shooting the shit.
We're just talking.
But
to
that's also another thing. Sorry.
Yeah.
That it was so small, but I was pleased with just that.
yeah, we
Yeah,
were done. We were
Exactly. It was like, oh well, that
we-
was already better than the other one.
Yeah.
And hey, what? It's
And
not
we
over
each,
yet.
Yeah.
and we each got something that we were looking for to a point.
What'd you get again?
Well, okay. Well, I like the McFarlane figures. I'm not an avid toy collector like Mark and you guys are starting to be, but
Thanks, Mark.
but
Oh my
but
God.
I
It's okay,
really.
it's only because of you.
But I've always really loved McFarlane figures, and my favorite series is the McFarlane Monster series, and it's a really old series going back to 1997. There was a whole table of just a guy selling only McFarlane stuff. He had baseball, football, McFarlane Dragons. He had Spawn. He had all kinds of McFarlane
There's
figures.
the Movie Maniacs too.
Yeah, and I was like, "Do you have any of the Monster series?" And he's like, "No." And I'm like, "Wow, like really?" Because of
You have everything else.
he
but,
had
like,
literally like everything except the kitchen sink and the Monster
Do
series.
you have Twisted Oz?
That's part of the Monster series.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I think one of the problem with these guys is that they cannot bring everything.
Well, maybe that was it. But he was like, "Well, there's a guy over there that has one," and I'm like, "Please be Jack the Ripper. Please be Jack the Ripper." And he was like, "Jack the Ripper," and I was like, "Yeah." So I went and I was like, "Should I get it? Should I not?" And then I said, "Fuck it." It was either get Jack the Ripper, or there was the guy selling the Dreamcast games where he had he had Resident Evil 3 and Mortal Kombat Gold.
They were fair prices. as
And
well.
yeah, so it was like it was those two or Jack the Ripper, but I wanted the Jack the Ripper a little more, so I got that. But then we found the video game room.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't just a video game room. Just,
There was some games, but my problem is that main vendor that was in the video game room.
yeah.
When I overheard him stating that this was all his doubles from
Yeah,
the
I know.
store,
Yeah.
why is he selling them so freaking expensive? I found the prices for them really
He was so overpriced.
way overpriced. Like,
Not
if these
all
are
of
your
them?
I know, but
It was-
if these are your extras,
No, but the ones
sell
that-
them off.
But
Get
the
them
ones
a
that
better
he
price.
knew even by themselves were
Yeah.
worth something, he had them at that price.
Yeah, exactly.
Even
Like,
if they
reduce
were
the
double.
price a little bit.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
but
the thing.
they
I
didn't
could,
had any deals, but I find that they were good prices.
Yeah.
Good- I mean, normal prices.
Yes.
They're current value prices.
yeah.
Which is nothing special. You go to a convention to get stuff at prices that you wouldn't find anywhere else.
No, I could understand his reasoning. It's just that it's unfortunate. Maybe it's because I couldn't afford anything, but it's just that like he had like 3 Castlevanias that I would have been so down to buy if they weren't $80 a pop,
Yeah.
And
They had the Wind Waker for GameCube for $80. They had though the Final Fantasy VII not greatest hits, the normal for $50, and I'm still really mad of myself. Not
well, it was
buying
the jewel case was cracked, wasn't it though?
Yeah, but it wasn't greatest.
You have to check.
Yeah, that's
you have
true.
to check because at $50 you have to have the special edition that has the arrow in the back. Masterpiece in the text in the back has the instead of an I, it's a J that's misplaced, and
Really?
that one is worth a bit more.
Wow. But no, it was a fun little convention. It was the second one. Why did they create this thing again?
Well, the original people that were in charge of the Toy Con, I don't think they're doing it anymore.
Sure.
All because the person that's in charge of the Montreal Comic Con has sort of taken over monopoly on conventions here in
That
Montreal.
came to.
Yeah, I know, it was interesting.
Yeah, I know.
And because of that, one of the vendors that does the Toy Con decided, hey, he does the TF Con in Toronto, that why not, let's not lose having a toy convention here in Montreal, let me create one of my own. And he teamed up with someone else, I think from Toy Wars, another toy store here in Montreal.
I think they closed down recently, and
Toy Wars,
he
really?
decided to start selling from his own apartment because the rent was too expensive.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it's really understandable.
Toys, collectibles, and that. No, don't get me wrong. I'm hardcore in it, but to keep a sustaining business, unless you're an actual store, like say Toys R Us or Walmart and all that, we have to buy. If you're buying them wholesale from, you have to buy them from a distributor, and you always have to pay the middleman price. So it's bloody expensive, and not everybody is willing to drop $100 every month because there's a new line coming out. It's not something that someone will walk in and say, "Oh, I want this toy." How come it's like $30 tier when Toys R Us, when they'll have it at
That
$10 or
That
$15.
is a really current question. I get all like many times.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, but it's good to see that and it was a good environment too. Everyone was really chill.
Yeah.
And they're doing a video game one in August.
Is it the same people?
Same people.
Ah, okay, that's what it is.
That'd be
High Score
awesome.
Con, yeah.
You told me that they are doing stations.
They're doing stations where they're playable games.
Oh,
We'll see how
man,
that
yeah.
works.
Yeah.
It's gonna be overcrowded, but still.
No, that's
It's
gonna
a
be
nice
chill
concept.
though. Like I'm gonna like that.
The RetroCon was also supposed to be a lot of comics. I didn't see many. I saw
There
a
was
few
some.
like
One guy.
Agnes Bin and everything, but I saw this one guy who I saw at Comic Con back then, and that's where I buy all my old stuff.
Mhm.
This guy has a lot.
Is that where you got
a
the
lot.
Iron Man?
Yeah, Iron Man 25. One of them missing just one or two now. He has many that are low grades, but when you find one, he's always like very very good price.
Yeah.
But I think it was the only comic book store, comic book retailer that was worth looking.
Well, there wasn't many. I saw like you look through like there's on the like when you first enter there was that guy that had like 3-4 boxes.
Yeah, but
And
they
then,
were all like.
and then
90s
in the
stuff.
second room was the guy you were talking about.
Yeah.
So it was, it was fine. I was expecting a toy convention because that's what I was told it was going to be, and I thought it was great.
Oh yeah, it was still great. It was just
yeah, it was a.
I was expecting more, but it didn't.
No, I just hope it gets bigger. Like well, eventually, yeah.
Better in quality than in quantity.
But that's the thing. At some point, they're gonna have to fight off like the market space with Comic Con, and these guys are already so big, but they're not that good compared to what's going on. So if they have
People
to,
are still going to go to the Comic Cons.
Yeah.
But I think now with the prices going extremely high, people are not going back and like participating in it. Like retailers and all are not going to be there just because of the prices. It's you have people that dress up and all that. They don't spend any money.
yeah, that's it.
They spend hundreds of dollars on making a costume to walk around to show themselves off. They're not going to go and spend after paying $60 to get in. You think they're going to spend $50, $60, $100 at a table? No, they're not going to do that.
Well, that's the whole thing of saying that Comic Con is not about comics anymore. It's
No.
it's
It's a cosplay parade.
they've put all the artists and that kind of stuff aside to have more money for the actors.
That's the same thing as San Diego Comic Con. There's like at the end
San
of
Diego,
all
they have
age,
everyone.
Yeah,
like
but
so far, and
Yeah, but-
like nobody cares anymore
But
about the artists.
the thing about San Diego is that they're big enough that they could cover every field and get fans from every field to see every field.
And that's also San Diego is a way for fans to see what retailers only see at their summits, the toy conventions that
Yeah.
only retailers are allowed.
Plus, they've been doing it for 25 years. So
yeah, but
that's-
still, the centerpiece of it is not anymore. Like
It's not comics,
or
no.
artists.
No, of course not. Of course not. But there's still those fans that will go for that because there always will be.
You should see that guy from Miles High Comics who went on a rant and like went crazy, like, oh, I'm not going next year. This is crazy. This is retarded. Put it on a letter publicly, and then
Open letter? Mhm.
Yeah, open letter, and then next year he went. Anyway,
No, Retro Expo was really good.
yeah.
But next up is probably the most exciting thing we've heard.
Yeah, today.
Just came
For,
out.
And it
for
just-
that's 2 hours ago.
And it was just it was no. Well, here's the thing. It was something that's been like announced for like 6 years ago or so.
Probably more.
Yeah.
As soon as the last.
You probably you're better explaining
Well,
this than I am.
6 hours. 6 years ago, they made a teaser trailer.
Yeah, even that was after. Okay,
I know. Okay.
let's get down to it. It's Reboot.
So, yeah, we're talking about, okay, yeah, just
Let's just get that off the.
for context, we're talking about Reboot.
Yes.
And we're talking about the
Rebooting.
reboot of Reboot.
The animated TV show.
Yeah.
Reboot.
Yeah.
Which everybody knows if you're a fan of Reboot, ever since the last episode of Season 4, which was the last movie of Season 4, My Two
Cliffhanger,
Bombs,
right?
it was the cliffhanger with Megabyte taking over the principal office, saying that he's no longer, yes, he's a virus, but viruses are predator by nature, and he wants to fulfill his programming, and now he wants to hunt, and he just basically wants to take revenge on everybody of Mainframe. He no longer wants to take over. He wants them eliminated. And that's how the show ended.
And
now,
then, yeah.
there was no talk about anything else, about a continuation at all.
Was it supposed to end there, or they just got cut off by the?
I think they just got cut off.
broadcast,
Because
yeah.
it's impossible for the producers to
They
cancel it there, you know? It's because they never had a choice.
They were going to finish it. They had plans to
They
finish
did
it.
as a comic book.
Fans wrote it as a comic book. It's not official. It's not official. That's
It's
been
not
confirmed.
canon? Has it been released but not canon?
No,
Okay.
they had it all planned out on where it would go. However, the network only picked up 8 episodes, which was the 2 movies. So it got cut right there. So they never finished it off officially. There's screen boards out there that you'd never be able to find because everything's been destroyed ever since Rainmaker took over for Mainframe. And a few years later, they announced that they were going to do a reboot of Reboot, where we got a lovely little 2-second trailer.
Yeah,
No, it was 20 seconds.
And it showed the
And
city.
the only
It shows
one
the
you
city,
see in comic
warning, incoming game, and the cube drops
Yeah.
down, and then
I
the
think-
title card comes up.
Yeah, and then
The Guardian Code, it was called.
not right away.
No?
No, it was just essentially called. It was like a reboot.
Okay, it just
Yeah.
They didn't have a tagline. It was only recent
The
that they came out
tagline
with
from
the
like 2 years ago, not even, maybe
Not
a year
even,
ago.
I think it was last year that they finally gave it a name.
Mm.
They did announce there was a video with the Guardian version 1.0.
Oh yeah, I hated that.
It was like a digitized
Oh, no,
character
it was bad.
with silver hair. People all thought it was going to be a weird looking Bob, but it was like a turbo ripoff.
And so what
Okay.
did we see exactly?
Yeah.
We got that.
Well, now,
amazing
today-
Yeah.
picture.
We got a comparison picture with Bob and this unknown character. However,
that has the Guardian.
it has a
icon.
Guardian icon on its body, which, okay, so
In the same spot that Bob had it.
exactly the same spot.
It looks
However,
like a
it's
robot,
faceless.
Right? It could be a suit. It could be a robot.
It could be it could be just a Guardian.
In a, like, armor.
I hardly think it's Bob, but
I-
for sure he's a Guardian because it's yellow. Just for that reason.
I don't think they're gonna. Well, already it's reported they have no mention about the previous cast. They're keeping the same
Yeah,
concept.
exactly.
So,
For teenagers.
however, the picture that was released of this person, there's a reflection in his face,
Yeah.
and
Who is it? Who is it?
no, no word of a lie, it looks like Megabytes.
Okay.
It's
It
It's
is
obviously
It
a
is
Megabyte.
Megabyte. It doesn't look like Megabyte. Come on.
might
Until
not be
it's
the
been
megabyte we
confirmed-
know,
It
but it's obviously him.
Terabyte.
Oh my god! Yes.
Because just quickly, they had a kilobyte, they had a megabyte, they had a gigabyte.
Oh,
we
it's
haven't gone
true.
past
Terabyte.
terabyte because he looks scarier.
It's
Oh, yeah.
true. Yeah.
Terabyte.
Oh man, there we go.
The artist went to
Hashtag terabyte.
Montreal Comic Con like 2 years ago, and I talked with him, and he told. Well, I asked him, so can you tell me something about that reboot of Reboot? You know, he just said like nothing. He never comes from anything, obviously, because at that point it was nothing yet. But he told me, you know, like just keep an eye open because something's coming. And
It was-
boom!
yeah.
2 years
It's really
after.
strange though.
You know what? The suit that we saw looks exactly like the body of Turbo, except different colors. But it looks exactly with the slates, the shoulder pads. I mean,
Those don't really look like shoulder pads.
Yeah, I know.
They look like really on their
Yeah,
on the arms.
Yeah, have nothing.
I think
it's
no.
weird.
I know what you mean. You mean the lines in the design
yeah,
is what you mean.
like the fibers kind
Yeah.
of it.
But
Yeah, I
it
guess.
but that's the thing. It's you got to think. They're just adding texture to a costume we recognize. So think of Bob's costume, but made now. They're not going to have it just a flat design with a pin on it. They're going to put something onto it. You know.
Of course.
Which is why when he came back in his silver form, he had like all kinds of like rivets in him, and
Which
Well,
is
that's because
the
it
merging
is-
with Glitch.
Yeah, Glitch was damaged. He didn't really operate, and the only way to
And they
save.
had to have a way out of their cyberspace.
Yeah.
And the only way is using the Glitch's powers.
Yeah.
And
Which
by
I
that,
like what they did with Bob. It was
Yeah, me
very,
too.
very clever.
with,
'Cause,
with the voices and
yeah,
everything. Yeah.
they lost. I think it was just a conflict of contracts. They lost the original voice of Bob. So when he was gone into the web at the end of season 3,
Yeah.
spoiler. If you haven't seen it now, where the hell have you been? Anyways,
Bob is Kaiser Soze.
well, when he goes into the web, you don't see him for a bit, and that's when they lost the contract for the voice actor. Well, when Bob came back, and they couldn't get the original voice, they got someone else that sounded like Bob, but it wasn't Bob.
Well, they got someone as close as they could
Yeah.
for the time.
Come the movies for season 4, My Two Bobs, when Bob comes back, it's the original voice actors.
They got him back.
They got him back. So you had actual two
it was,
Bobs on
yeah.
screen with two different voice actors, and until Glitch Bob turns back into regular Bob, that's when he goes back to the original voice. So it was very clever. And
Clever.
clever, yeah, I know. Right?
Very clever.
Speaking about voices, well, if they do,
That is the sad news.
yes,
That the voice of Megabyte is
Tony J, yeah.
unfortunately deceased.
Mm-hmm.
So now they need someone else. Who would be a good Megabyte to take over? Mark said earlier an amazing new
Yeah.
option, which
Jeremy
is
Irons.
Jeremy Irons. That
Yeah.
has
The current Alfred for
Yeah.
the DC Cinematic Universe.
and Scar in Lion King.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think that he would be the perfect.
He's perfect.
And the brother of Hans Gruber in Die Hard 3.
My answer to that is it will be perfect, but way too expensive.
Well, you know
Way
what
too
would be
expensive.
really expensive as well, and maybe overly used, but James Spader, who
Well,
voiced
the other
Ultron.
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 I would see it, but you know, it's
I will always think of Megabyte with a British accent or an accent of some sort, and
I thought originally the voice that is
Megabyte,
Megatron.
Megatron. Ooh, yeah,
Yeah.
we're talking about Megabyte.
Well, also,
Yeah.
Megatron is in Beast Wars.
it's very rugged though, because it needs to be clean, but like angry.
Yeah, but that guy
Yes.
it's been 15 years since Beast Wars. Voice changed a bit.
Who's the guy who's
The guy, I don't remember his name. The guy that does the Wishmaster.
Oh, really? Oh my God! What the hell is his
I don't
name?
remember his name.
3 wishes.
Make your wishes. You're a very dangerous person to know, Alexandra.
You know, Inspector Gadget, Dr. Claw. Is he still alive?
Next time, Bob. Next time.
I remember being very angry and deep and
Yeah.
And petting his
Next time, Gadget. Next time. Andrew Dorf.
yes, yeah.
Divoff. Dorf. Yeah.
He'll be petting Nibbles.
Divoff.
Next time, Bob. Next time.
No, but that's also the difference. That reflection that we see looks incredibly like Megabyte, but way more powerful.
could be upgraded.
So,
could be,
exactly.
It could
I mean,
just
it's
be
computers,
simply
right?
another virus that has the similar traits of. You're telling me there's
The
1
sun.
megabyte in the whole entire.
Yes.
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 Some sort of like Megabyte Legacy, something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah,
I'd be totally fine with that.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see what goes on.
Really,
Only time will say.
hopefully we'll see something soon.
Yeah,
Right.
and like not getting this like news, and then another 5-6 years later, we actually got a show.
Yeah.
Which might happen.
I know. I guess seeing that
But
picture,
we got new, like...
yeah, that
like a picture,
poster,
the
that
information.
poster really does it, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find a way to print that. It's going up in my room.
It's gonna be good.
Alright.
That will be all for us. I'm Jonathan for Comics.
I am Justin for movies.
I'm Mark for toys.
I'm Nick for Games.
Guys, it's time to
Reboot! I come from the net.
through CDs.
Through systems, peoples, and CDs to this place.
Mainframe.
I format guardian to mend and defend, to defend my newfound friends, their hopes and dreams, to defend them from their enemies. Say the user lives outside the net and inputs games for pleasure. No one knows for sure, but I intend to find out. Reboot!